Would you believe me if I told you it took 458 days to film this video? Well, unfortunately it did. The first time I filmed with this Toyota Fortuner, I hadn't really done showcase type filming by myself yet. I'd always had cameraman Pash with me to overlook the camera and make sure that everything was filming correctly and that I was in shot, but unfortunately he couldn't make it this time. So there I was, armed with a tripod, old phone that I decided to take out of retirement, and a cheap microphone that I found online.
Africans love Toyotas because these things don't break.
The mic didn't connect, and the audio came out really terrible.
6 or this legendary D4D. The horsepower is not the important figure here. The important figure is the torque.
It didn't help that I felt pretty awkward when people walked past, so I would look at the notes on my phone so much that I'd forget them straight after. I pulled myself towards myself and locked in and went on with the review anyways, still not knowing that my technology had betrayed me.
But this torque over horsepower did not come cheap. This is a gas guzzler. It's a diesel eater. It's 3 liters of turbo diesel power. This engine was built specifically so that it could run on good diesel and bad diesel as well.
I didn't review the footage between takes and didn't notice the audio still wasn't working.
When you got the optional rear seat entertainment in this car, when you click the on button, you're greeted with a silhouette of a BMW X6. Normally when you start an automatic, you have to put your foot on the brake and then turn the car. In this car, Toyota thought that doesn't matter. They don't care about that, because while I'm outside, I could still start the car.
Up until one of the people walking past also walked past me before walking past. An overall wholesome interaction. The guy was curious about the car and obviously why I'm filming it. At the end of the interaction, I wanted to stop the footage and start it again, so I could get a clean clip without distractions to make editing easier for myself. This allowed me to look back at the footage and realize the magnitude of the betrayal.
But why was this engine so popular? If you bought the 4x4 version of this car, take one of your cup holders away.
In the great words that Kim Kardashian saw online one day, you didn't come this far just to come this far. So I decided to reconnect the mic and do the interior again. First I started off with the rear because light was fading fast and the sensor on this camera struggles with low light indoor conditions. One of the main selling points that they gave back here was your back seats are reclinable, so you can always find a comfortable position in the back. I speed ran it, but by the time I was done with the rear, it started raining, meaning I was stuck inside the car, forced to watch the light fade. When it eased up, I went outside to try give it a go, but my spirits were beat and I knew what I already had was going to take a miracle to be usable.
The second gen didn't do as well, but anyways, this is a first gen Toyota Fortuner. I'm gonna give us a very... Actually,
So I stormed off my own set.
get all of it.
But then I remembered it was also a solo shoot and I need to come back for my stuff. I returned to uni with at least some videos for that season, but this one I knew would be touch and go, and I coped how anybody would cope with their failure. I didn't think about it and pretended it didn't exist. So time went on and I didn't really think about the video, until nearly 400 days later, I caught a random urge to overcome my inadequacies. I returned to the set, now with a vanity plate instead of a laminated paper, and the realization that that thing that I was holding to read my notes off of, it could actually double as a pretty good microphone. If you see an outfit change, a weather change, and just a random change in the video, mind your business. So there I was, same location, same script, different mindset. I knew I would still feel awkward and nervous when people walked past, but the way I handled the stress had improved, allowing me to just flow.
So, this is the legendary Toyota Fortuner 3-liter D4D, known for its ladder-on-frame design, tough dependability, and good off-road capability. This car is known all across Africa and today I'm going to take you around the D4D and show you why this was such a popular car, even becoming one of the best-selling SUVs. My name is Tawanda, you're watching Fueled. Welcome to the 3-liter D4D Toyota Fortuner. This is actually the facelifted Gen 1 Toyota Fortuner. So you can tell that it's a facelift from the front. It's got a different design down here. It's got slightly different headlights, different grille shape, and an update to the subframe that would make sure that this car doesn't roll over as much, because the old ones tended to roll over quite a bit, and this one came through and fixed that problem. And then there's a couple of differences at the back.
Because I was now using an independent mic setup, I could change from scene to scene, confident that I was getting clean audio, rectifying the mistakes of my past.
So the Land Cruisers, mainly the Prado and the 200, their seats came from the bottom. This has an extra third row of seats as well, but it was different because it's third.
Okay, so no one is perfect, but at least this time I did actually check. So, baby steps.
Other changes that came to the facelift were different headlights, different integrated reflectors, same single exit tailpipe, and the most important feature, it had a reversing camera, because it now had a screen that could take a reversing camera, and the camera was always hidden in between the E and the R of Fortuner.
I think at some point I got a bit too into the flow, going off my script and just making odd noises.
Something that the newer Fortuner that replaced this model didn't have, that this model did have, was this air intake up here. They took it away from the newer Fortuner, and I don't know why, because it's such a good feature. It's such a whoa.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Now, around the side of the D4D, we've got a very simple SUV kind of structure. This was built on a pickup truck platform, so this underneath is almost the exact same as the equivalent Toyota Hilux of the year.
This brings me onto the Fortuner's party piece. As standard, they all get a locking rear differential, which forces the rear wheels to spin together, stopping the wheel with no traction from receiving all the power and spinning. With the locker, you can use the wheel with traction to pull the vehicle forward. You can tell the locker is engaged from how the car drops as both wheels start to spin. This, coupled with the very good ground clearance, means that this 4x2 could be more adventurous than most lifestyle vehicles on the market today.
Okay, so I know this video was a little bit all over the place, but things weren't really working out in my favor. But I hope you know a little bit more about the legendary 3-liter D4D Toyota Fortuner now. And when you see one on the road next time, think about this video.